YouTube, what's going on? Thank you for clicking on the video. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about how to unlock the Boys Diabolical Mastery Camo in Season 4 of Modern Warfare 2 in the fastest and easiest way, as you only have 1 week left to do this before it is gone forever as Season 5 rolls around on Wednesday, August 2nd. While I've got you here, please make sure you like and subscribe if you appreciate these mini camo guides. I've been loving these challenges coming out as part of the Reloaded drops every season, and this is probably the best content we've had from Modern Warfare 2, so I love it. Let's keep it up in Season 5 Infinity Ward. To unlock this camo, you have to complete all 10 of the Diabolical weapon challenges, which can be found by heading over to the Events tab and scrolling down one. There is a challenge for every weapon class in the game, with a different type and amount of kills set per weapon class. Every time you complete one of the weapon class challenges, you'll unlock the Vought International Camo. This is this super clean white logo blend of a camo, and when you unlock that on every weapon class, completing every challenge for every class, you'll unlock the animated red Diabolical Mastery Camo. And as you can see, I'm pretty close to that, so that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to run you through the classes that I've used to complete all of these challenges, and a couple of tips including what maps to play and how to complete these challenges faster. One thing about the Diabolical Camo challenge is that some of the weapons actually don't require you to kill players. So far on Modern Warfare 2, every multiplayer camo that we've grinded for has required operator kills. Some of the Diabolical challenges require enemy kills, which means that you can do them on AI in like Invasion and DMZ, which certainly speeds up at least one of these challenges a big amount. I'm going to kick things off talking about the Assault Rifle and the SMG challenges, because to be honest, even though they might not be the absolute quickest of the challenges here, these are definitely two of the easiest that you're going to do. For the Assault Rifles, all you have to do is hit 50 headshot kills, and with the submachine guns, you have to get 250 total operator kills. To be honest, I did most of this in rank play, so I actually don't have that much footage of it. That said, I did finish off the Assault Rifles over on Shoot House. This is the class that I use for the Assault Rifle kills. There's no special tuning on any of these attachments. Obviously, if you want to add it, feel free. I personally don't really feel the need to. Everybody's familiar with the tack at this point, and yeah, there's really not too much advice to touch on for headshots. Apart from the standard things, you know, make sure that your centering is where you'd expect people's heads to be. Try and aim a little bit higher than you usually do if you struggle to get headshots. I know it sounds basic, but people often don't consciously focus their aim on being as high as it needs to be when people are coming around corners, etc. to hit headshots. They're more worried about staying on the body, making sure that they're not missing at all. Aim for that upper chest, neck area if needs be. If you get into a gunfight and you get shot, there's going to be some flinch on your weapon. That'll kick your gun up. Aim assist to help keep your gun down. You're going to find a balance where you're actually hitting dead center head, really. So it should be fairly easy to complete this in a game or two, particularly on Shipment or Shoot House. Again, the subs challenge, it might take a little while, 250 kills. I think on Shipment, you can probably fairly easy get 50 kills a game, so it's not unreasonable to suggest that you can do this in like 5 games. For the better players out there, you can even aim for 2 or 3 games, you know, depending on how twisted you're feeling. But this is everything that I use. No tuning, nothing too fancy, super mobile, lightweight, and pretty hard hitting. The Sniper 3 kill streaks is probably the hardest of all of the 10 challenges, I'd say here, purely because it's the least forgiving to miss any of your shots, especially when you get into close quarters. You have to thread those 3 kill streaks, and you have to do it 10 times. So pretty basic. If you've done the camo grind before, it's not a challenge that we haven't already met, but it can be a pain in the ass, I'll admit. I personally use the SPX and jumped into Shoot House for this. Shoot House, you have a little bit more time. You still have that close quarter map feel. The distance makes things a little bit more forgiving, so it's easier to thread those kills together. And this SPX build, which I'll throw up on the screen, it's super lightweight, still packs a punch. I got a few hit markers, admittedly, but very little in the grand scheme of things. You can definitely try out the Sigma or the FJX maybe, which are slightly harder hitting, a little bit heavier and less mobile, but you probably will get less hit markers with them. But I definitely recommend jumping into Shoot House for this one, especially if you could get into a hard point, a domination game where people are playing around objectives more. It's easier to understand where to funnel those kills. Keep an eye on where your teammates are spawning so you know that you're not going to get flanked anytime soon. And just take your time a little bit, you know? Try and control the pace. Don't get overexcited when you've got 2 kills and jump out, get yourself killed. To complete the shotgun challenge, you need 30 operator kills while your character is in prone. Shotguns, I feel like this one speaks for itself. Shipment is obviously the way to go. You can catch loads of people out just by being laid down against the corner of these crates. Alternatively, if you don't like the mayhem of Shipment, you could turn to Shoot House again. I think like Top Office is a really great place where you can have high engagements, lots of people pushing. It feels a lot more ratty in Shoot House because I think there's less people doing it, and you definitely are contained to that Top Office location a little bit more as to where you're going to get the most of your engagements. That said, in Shipment, every man for themselves, everyone's doing it. It's always the vibe, whether there's a challenge running or not. There's fire shotguns everywhere. You can use any shotgun. I was going to use the new one, but I haven't unlocked it yet. Either way, this is my class. I just adjusted a blueprint that I have from the season pass. We've got the Sport Barrel, Bryson Choke, Dragon's Breath rounds, 25 round drum mag, and then the Dash Bolt to increase fire rate. The light machine guns are another super easy challenge. You need 30 operator kills with a suppressor on an LMG. For this one, I'm going to recommend, again, jump into Shipment. Obviously, make sure you have a suppressor on your LMG. You can use any LMG. In this case, I've used the Icarus pretty much just because I had a class built ready for it. That said, the RAL is probably the heaviest hitting. The RAP is the quickest fire rate. This Icarus, arguably the most mobile. So you can go whatever direction you want, depending on what your kind of play style is. But one thing I will recommend with this is try and get right to the back of the map on shipment. Sit against the back wall in one of the corners, or mount up on the little headies opposite A and C flags. The only reason I highlight this is because you really want to try and avoid as many shotguns as possible. Obviously, these LMGs are heavy, so sometimes it gives you a slower time to respond than what you're probably used to. So in any close range battles, you're going to be on the back foot, which is really what you're looking to try and avoid if you want to speed things up. This can definitely be done in one game. Jump in shipment, jump in any other map if you want to, but shipment is obviously going to be where you get the highest engagements and complete this challenge faster. Marksman rifles, you have a couple of options with. I would still recommend jumping into shipment with these, and I myself just use one of the blueprints that I've had from either the season pass or an old pack. I'm not really sure where it's from. It's just a hostile takeover one. I used the EBR, and this is how the blueprint was built. You can probably see by some of the gameplay in the background, I actually had a bit of a nightmare while I was going for this because I had a bit of lag and my game was super hitchy. Either way, still a super easy challenge, although this is one of the more annoying ones. 30 mounted marksman rifle kills. The one thing that I will say with this is that if you look at the marksman category, although you've got multiple guns in here that have the potential to one-shot kill, the SPR, the Lockwood, even the crossbow, they're super unforgiving, especially when you're mounted and you have a really tight, limited range of motion. So the strategy that I took towards it was grabbing a semi-auto rifle, in this case the EBR. The Tempest Torrent would probably work just as good if you have it leveled up. In fact, I think it's more powerful, so probably choose that one if you have the option to. The 50 pistol long shots challenge feels like one of the ones that on the face of things should be one of the more difficult parts of this challenge. However, in reality, you can actually get these kills on operators or enemies, which means that you can actually just dive into DMZ, dive into invasion, and get all of these kills on bots without anybody really shooting back, and you can plow through this much easier than you would if you were doing it in multiplayer. Long shots on pistols are only 18 to 20 meters, something like that as a baseline, so you really don't need to be that far away from people when you're actually getting those kills. As you can see, I did almost all of my pistol long shot kills in DMZ. I just hopped in. Where I spawned seemed to be pretty heavy with AI anyway, so I just started picking people off, make sure I went and looted them for some extra ammo. Using up on the D-pad to mark people if you're not familiar with that. That's going to show you how far away they are from you as a distance, so you can get a measurement as to whether or not your kill is going to count as a long shot, which is really useful. I used the X12 pistol. I used the Sea-Dog blueprint, but adjusted the build slightly. Really useful tip as well. AI headshots are actually a one-shot kill, assuming that the AIs aren't armored, of course. If you don't want to do this in DMZ, if you don't want to do it in Invasion, you don't want to kill bots, you can hop into any of the maps. I think I finished like 5 or 6 short after jumping into DMZ, so I actually jumped on shootouts to finish some of mine off. I've shown this in one of my long shots videos already, but on shootouts, if you sit at the back spawn and look down either of the lanes, there's around about a 20-30 meter distance between that line of sight of people pushing into the spawns and that back center point where there's a little bit of cover that you can hide behind. So this is a really, really great spot where you can pick up easy long shots, especially when you get in those shootouts games where everyone's obsessed with flanking, which, let's face it, is probably 4 out of 5 shootouts lobbies. The battle rifle challenge is one of the more annoying ones out of this overall Diabolical challenge. You have to get 20 kills from behind on operators, so this does need to be done in regular multiplayer. I think shipment and shootouts are both fairly useful for this. Shipment, you get more engagements, but I think shootouts, if you can get a quiet lobby, you get more opportunities just to flank behind spawns, shoot people in the back, but it can definitely be a little bit of a slower challenge to get. On shipment, it kind of pays to wait between crates and in corners, allow people to run past you. Often when you've got one person running past you, there's multiple people spawning in the same place. I use this Cronin Squall class, which literally just has the HR 6.8 barrel on it, purely because I need to level this up. This was probably the most annoying challenge for me. I didn't really enjoy it. It wasn't hard, but you just have to be patient. You have to get the right opportunities to get these kills. You have to rely on people to be facing away from you for whatever reason. Of course, people are going to turn around and shoot back if you start shooting at them. So it's not ideal, but again, it's only 25 kills, so it's not the end of it. The one thing I would say is that regardless of which battle rifle you choose, the majority of these can actually be switched to full auto fire just by clicking left on the D-pad. The melee weapons do require 30 kills, although they can be on enemies or operators. What I will say about enemy kills, meaning AI, with the melee weapons is that when you approach the AI, as bad as they are, it's really hard for them to miss. So you're going to take damage no matter what. I found personally that jumping onto shipment, just running around like a madhead, this was really easy to complete in one game. Obviously, you respawn, things are much quicker. As much as it might feel easier to do these on bots, I honestly think just jump into shipment, just face tank it. Even if you're not the best melee player, throw a riot shield on as your main weapon, throw a knife on as your secondary. I say the knife purely because it's got a faster movement speed, faster lunge rate, and just honestly get in people's faces. Double time can be really helpful here. It'll help you move around the map faster than other people. Obviously, the riot shield absorbs some of those bullets, and then you can use something like flashes or smokes if you really need to. I also threw on fast hands and quick fix for this. Launcher class, I feel like, is one that needs absolutely zero explanation, right? This is another one where you just hop into shipment, face tank, get as many kills, accept you're going to get killed, and just try and get in and out as quickly as you possibly can.
Kill confirmed.
That's nice little double. One good thing about these launches is if you run out of ammo, the melee kills do count. If I can show it here. There's one. Halfway there. Let's go. I'm going to go and try and hide in this crate. It's another double. Let's go. That could have been a melee. Bound to be one in there, right? There he is. I got one then. Is that it? Is that the final? It is. The boys camo unlocked. There we go. Every challenge completed for every weapon class. We've unlocked the weapon camo and the weapon charm, which means we've completed every mini mastery challenge in the season so far. All right, and here we are in game. This is the Vought Camo on the tack. So this is what you get for completing each individual weapon class. You can see it here on the knife as well. That looks clean. And then finally, we have the boys camo. This is the Diabolical camo. Animated, you can see the textures. Really just scrolling forward on the gun. It's a pretty simple animation, but it does look clean. You can see it on the knife here too. I think it looks really clean on the knife. Anyway, guys, that's it. That's how you can unlock the boys camo in the fastest way possible. I completed this in around about 4 or 5 hours playtime, I think. A couple of the challenges more annoying than others. Definitely the snipers and the battle rifles more irritating than they should be. As you can see in the bottom right hand corner, this event does end in 8 days, 7 days probably by the time you're watching this video, and you will not be able to grab it again after season 5 starts on August 2nd. Hopefully you can use these tips and tricks to help get it quicker, and we should know in the next couple weeks what the season 5 reloaded mini mastery challenge looks like. Hopefully it's awesome. Hopefully there actually is something that may not be with the Modern Warfare 3 reveal event coming. Either way, I appreciate you guys watching. I hope this has been helpful. I'll catch you in the next one.